This is just a quick review of the Odyssey Clean 100 surface skimmer. That's evidently a clone of the Sun one. This is really cheap. It was $13, $14. I guess the good thing is that, as you can see the top, almost all the surface scum is gone. This tank had a lot of surface scum on it, and yeah, it's been running for 24 hours now, but frankly, the stuff was gone in must have been half an hour. I was really surprised at how quickly and how well it worked. What I don't like about it is, let me zoom in, and it sort of makes sense, but it collects food, because when you feed, some gets sucked in, so I've got to go get that out. Just have rotting food in there, and that's kind of annoying. And you might say, well, it's easy enough, just turn it off, so let's try that. So here we see it running from above. You can see the tops bobbing around as it floats. Let's turn it off. Oh, that time it worked. Let's turn it back on. So far, it's working fine, but let's mess about with it. So I'm going to turn it off again. So the amount of air that's in there is absolutely critical for it to float at just the right amount, because if you have it emptied, see, it's not going to be there, but I can turn it on. It's on now, but it's still too much air. And now it's working, but see how I have to get the air just right. And I don't know if that's going to be finicky or not. If you have not enough air in it, it obviously just sinks straight down, whether it's on or off. And if you have it such a way that you have, let's get a little tiny bit of air, so it's enough to have it to float on. Now it's essentially still working, but you can see how if I had slightly less air, so now it's on, and it just gets sucked down to the bottom. Let's turn it off. So what I don't like about this is how finicky it is for getting it set. You know, how often do you have to service that to get the air just right? It looks like from the surface scum I'm collecting, not the surface scum, from the leaves I'm collecting, that filter pad will have to be serviced maybe even more than once a week. So once a week I'm going to have to mess with this. I've got an idea about how to fix it though. Let's see if I can do it. So the way I'm hoping to fix it is to put a block of foam in there to hold it, frankly, at the same height. That way it won't be bobbing up and down, which for a lot of people won't work, but I'm doing 50% water changes every week, so my water level pretty much stays constant. I've got a white block of just PVC here, and I want to put that in. I'm measuring the depth. I don't want to pull this out because running the power cord was a pain. And so that's from where the bottom of the pump is to the top of the glass, and here to the top of the water. So now I'll go and cut the PVC. I'll cut the foam to fit in there. Oh, fish, see? Go out. Come on, guys. So I've taken all the equipment down to my workbench so I can have a little bit of room to cut and stuff. This is the coarse foam that was inside the skimmer. It also had some floss really fine on top of it. I looked at that and said, that's just gonna clog up instantly. So we see what the size of this is. It looks to be 2 inches by 1.5, which is fine. And a nice block of coarse foam here. I think it's the 10. I'm almost certain I got this from Swiss Tropical. He's the guy that sells all the Matten filter stuff online. Great guy to deal with. He answered all my questions. I run a Matten on one of my tanks. But let's Go 2 inches. Serrated steak knife, that's all you need. It's not making the best smooth straight cuts. When you buy it from Swiss Tropical, it's perfectly cut. I don't know how he does it. He must have some sort of jiggy holes. You can see it's sort of nasty there, but who cares? So that was the 2 inches. And here we'll go 1.5. I don't know why I bothered measuring, because you just do it that way. Try not to cut my fingers. Okay, so this is now the same size as that. And how tall is it going to be? Well, this was to the bottom of the filter. And this was to the bottom of the water. So, bottom of the filter is to here, which gives us only this much more. So, I'm actually short by a bit. I'm short by that much. It's a little on the annoying side, but I can just cut another piece here. Hey, it's about the same size. Let's get this back upstairs, see how it works. I want to put just a big piece in first, see how that works. I don't think it's going to work, but yeah, measure once, cut twice. See, that doesn't work at all. Of course, I forgot that it has to. I have to take it. My fish is in there. I have to take that dimension into account. So what I really need to measure is, go away, guys. I have to measure from there to here. And so that's about a half inch out of this. No. You can see why I want a permanent solution. These fish are so curious. It's running, but not enough. So I need to get one of those little spacers in. I could use this, because it's probably the right size, but it's so fiendishly ugly. I hate how this thing looks. You look in the front of your tank, and you see all this, the blue and black chrome logo, and you see the white pads. And yeah, clear, I guess some people like clear. I prefer all my stuff to be black, so I can't see it. Hopefully my swords will grow up tall and hide it. That's the plan. That looks to be about perfect. Let's turn it back on. And yeah, it's skimming. See, now I can turn it off and on. Here it is, off. And here it is on. And you can see it gets sucked down when it turns on, which is fine. But it's not relying on the amount of air I put into it, which I really like. I'll show you one reason why I wanted this to turn off. Easy to be turned off is so I can feed. So why don't we feed him now? And I will turn it off. It's off. I can dump the food in. And there they go. And none of it, well, it's all being blown away, but trust me, you saw it there before. Some of the goop got in it. But you can see some food floating over towards there, not getting sucked in, which is just perfect. So I've taken this spray bar off. I pointed it down, which was too much. It was messing up the gravel. So it's pointed not quite at a 45-degree angle at the back wall, but without the spray bar, there's very little resistance to it now. And you can see at the top, it's sucking a lot of air. And what's worse though is look at all the air in the tank. It's not my CO2 which doesn't put out bubbles, nor is it the plant's purling, which does happen sometimes. This is just injected air. So I will absolutely be running this on a timer at night, so that way you can get the scum off at night, and then the bubbles will clear out. That way you don't have to worry about turning it on and off when feeding also. There's a close-up showing the how it's sucking air from the surface.